What is happening, y'all? What is happening? What is happening? I'm your working gamer, and we are here, Wuchang, going over our build. Now, I just kicked off New Game Plus, and after just, running through the game a second time and getting those boss fight guides up, can't believe I missed the Obsession Demon. But nonetheless, we are here. So I just kind of want to go over the skill tree first and foremost. Now, I did choose the Longsword. And I chose the longsword simply because I wanted to switch it up from like my unga bunga, which is normally the axe up here. But I did choose the longsword, and there are, a couple skills and things of that nature I'm sure everybody is aware of by now. But for somebody like me, your everyday gamer, I kept it super simple. I didn't use the blink kick too much, so I didn't check those off. I pumped up my vitality, stamina, HP, endurance, strength, and feathering, and agility. Those were my focus points, as you can tell by the stats. So as we came down here, simply focused on pumping up all those stats and got our way to Corrosive Flurry. Now, I used Corrosive Flurry simply because it was an attack move that was quick. Used it with Skyborn Might, and it also caused Corruption. So I mixed that with my Corruption Temperance and this, as I was building up Corruption on enemies or bosses. Check out those boss fight guides. If I was close enough, and I needed to get another lick in there, but I ran out of stamina, I'd use Corrosive Flurry, trying to get that Corruption build up there and help us out with taking the health away without us having to attack. So, again, as you can see here, really just pumped up feathering, strength, and didn't really use too many of the other skills. Crescent Arc, I heard, was really good for dodging enemy moves. Crescent Moon, same thing. Nice dodge flip back, but I didn't really use it. I have an aggressive playstyle, so I just stuck to spamming R1, spamming the strength, spamming the heavy attack, doing the backstabs, getting Corrosive Flurry in there, dodging. Very much dodge attack, almost like a very Neo 2 style, my Unga Bunga playstyle there. You could check out that live stream. So, this is my skill tree here for the Longsword. As you can see, nothing too crazy. And for our passive skills here, really just pumped up the health as much as we could. I got 12 Vase charges that we can use. Rejuvenates the amount of health you get back. It rejuvenates about 50 to 60% of the health. So that's what we focused on here. I focused on one Temperance, which was Corruption, but I even removed it to pump up some points in other places when we got towards the end game. I used, so really just a very straightforward build. I mean, this is really good for your beginner who doesn't know too much about Souls-likes or Souls games and not too sure how to play. This is my playstyle. Very basic, very straightforward. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Feathering to help get your, your Skyborn Might built up and being able to use different spells and things of that nature when needed. And again, towards the end game, I started going my way into the axe and to the spear. Again, simply for vitality, strength, endurance, feathering, things of that nature. See here? Got some strength, got some vitality. So that's where I focused all my stats. You can see my level is 113. I was about 111 or 112 when we got to the final boss. But that's what I focus on, the longsword. My playstyle is very, very straightforward. Now for Temperance, again, very straightforward. I focused on the flame. Temperance, very much so. So as here, I got one for flame, bone needle for strength, because that's our focusing on longsword, so we want to have some, strength and put up in there. Now the way I did my build makes more sense almost for an axe build or a strength build, but I like the diversity of being able to be quick and strong. So that's what I really like about this longsword build is you are quick, you are strong, you have a lot of stamina, you have a lot of health, you can continuously keep getting attacks off and off and off, and check out those boss fight guys, you'll see what I'm saying. So, and that really helped me. Temper, right, increase the power of the Temperance and continuity, how long it is on for. I didn't even feel the need to unlock the last one, the last slot. I didn't. I mean, I did fairly well with this build and this stats and these bone needles, and so I'm comfortable. Again, this is a very straightforward build, very basic build, and very easily to get through the game. I mean, check out those boss fight guides, you'll see what I'm saying. Benedictions, I really focused on a handful and I'm going to put that together right now. So you can use different things like increase your weapon's corruption, build up, etc., etc. But the bone needles really do all the work for you. And this is my 3 out of 3 right here. This is what we ran with for most of the time during my playthrough when again, those boss fight guides. And increase mostly backstab attacks, obliterate attacks recover a small amount of health, and consecutive attacks increase your damage. Now, a lot of the enemies and a lot of the bosses, you can get backstabs in, you can stagger them, and that's where the power of the quote-unquote backstab attack, you get your health back, increase the stamina, and then when you knock them backwards, you know, with your backstab, after the finishing move, she kind of like punches them, you go in for a few consecutive attacks, and increases the damage over time. So this was a build that, again, very straightforward, nothing too fancy, and something that I really liked. So now, again, disciplines, I really only stuck to Corrosive Flurry. As you can see, I have Blink Kick and Corrosive Flurry. I didn't unlock anything else. I was totally content with Corrosive Flurry and the way that I had it unlocked in the skill tree. I didn't even level it up all the way. Again, super basic build, super straightforward build, nothing too fancy here. And my favorite weapon was the... Don't know why we're... Oh, because we were in New Game Plus. So, what I personally liked was the Lashing Whip. And you can see why. Look at the increase in the slash. Look at the increase in the stab. Blunt damage goes down a little bit. But this is the weapon right here. Lashing Whip. I love the Lashing Whip so very much. It just really packs a punch. Again, it's a strong weapon. So again, you have that quickness. You have that power. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Now with the Temperance that I personally used, which was the Flame, you should be using, or not should be using, but you could be using Flamebringer. Lashing Whip plus 10. Oh, okay, so here we go. Yeah, we want to change these up. Put them on here. I really love the Lashing Whip. Now, when it comes to using the Flame Temperance, some people are like, oh, use the Flamebringer, and you know, it'll increase the fire damage, etc., etc. Excuse me, drinking some coffee, early morning. And so, I mean, I personally didn't really enjoy the Flamebringer. I mean, I definitely think it's a cool looking sword. Don't get me wrong, it is by all means a very cool looking sword. See, it is a very cool looking sword by all intents and purposes, okay? But for me, I just like the Lashing Whip. I think that, again, it really packs a punch with that slash and the stab, and the way this build is put together. Very straightforward, especially because we're spamming R1 a lot. Getting our heavy attack in, you know, and then look at the amount of stamina we have. I mean, I'm just firing off, firing off, firing off, firing off, firing off, firing off. And then when you run out, you know, hold L2. Now, we don't have any Skyborn Might, right? But that L2 usually would be Corrosive Flurry, and we really pack a hell of a punch in there. So, I personally really like, at least in terms of the weapons and the benedictions and things of that nature, I really like it. Now, in terms of equipment and pendants and things of that nature, what we have equipped is usually what I ran with. Now, I did get the deluxe bundle, but anything with slash, blunt, stab, feathering, and magic resistance is pretty much what I gravitated towards. And this is where I really ended up for most of the game. If you check out, you know, the game and my boss fights and stuff like that, this is what I have equipped for the most part. Now, there are certain bosses where I did switch up the armor just for the boss fight, but during my gameplays, this is pretty much what I was running with. One, we look sexy as shit. 2, she looks really good in this. I mean, the armor, I mean, it looks cool too. I mean, you have yellow, you got like a little bit of raggediness in there. The heels come up to like the mid-thigh. She looks really good, and she's a badass, and we kick ass. So, it's a win-win-win all around. Now, in terms of other boss fights, or certain boss fights, yeah, sure, I would put on something like this for a magic, like a magic fight here. If I really needed some magic resistance or lightning resistance, I'm running with this. Even what I have equipped now, may I throw this on, right? Even what I have here, magic resistance is pretty high. I may not even need to change this, right? I mean, look at this right here. This is the whole getup right here. Look at this getup. We look awesome. The armor is really stylish. The armor is really cool. It definitely makes a little bit of a difference, for sure. I mean, for sure. When it comes to... Oh, she's looking at us. Hello. When it comes to fighting certain bosses, fighting certain enemies, I do think the armor really does make a difference. You'll notice the amount of damage taken is where you really start to notice the difference. And again, the armor is sick. I mean, they did a really great job with the style of the armor, and the fact that there is no weight capacity or anything like that certainly really does make the game a lot more fun, where you don't have to worry about a certain stat or pumping up strength or something like that to equip a certain piece of armor to take on a certain boss or a certain enemy if you're struggling. And I find that really great about the game. Now, this is just my build video. I'm not trying to get into a review, but y'all know what I'm saying, and I think it's really cool that they do this. I mean, again, I usually run with this right here, but in terms of just anything that you need, like if you're going for, I mean, end game, you get, if you need some serious resistance to corruption and things of that nature, end game, you get some really cool armor. The consort armor is awesome. I mean, sick, right? I mean, just totally sick all the way around. Every piece of armor is super cool, and they each serve their own purpose, right? So definitely couldn't agree more with how they did the armor and the gameplay and things of that nature. I certainly really love it. I know a lot of people love it, so no complaints on my end. But let's go put our armor back on. Even something like this, right? Like, switch it up. This is more balanced. This is... See, it has 17, 19, 17. This is 6, 18, 20, so that's why we run with this. Right, just in terms of slash, blunt, and stab, mitigation, things of that nature. We could use something like this, right? As opposed to something like this, but this is more balanced. Right, but... See? Just different style. Totally cool. Everything still works. I love it. So, when it comes to the pendants I normally ran with were whatever increases your maximum stamina, because I usually tend to burn a lot of it. Whatever increases your maximum recovery speed and damage reduction. Now, there were a lot of points in time where I was using things like recover health upon defeating an enemy, increase damage, increase the potency of your weapon's physical attacks, increase the damage against large enemies and things of that nature, depending on the boss you're fighting and whatnot. But for the most part, once I got comfortable with my build, this was the 3 that I was running with. There was a certain point in time again I was running with, with these 2, and then removing this one for the recover of health and etc. But really, whatever works for your build. There's definitely a lot of pendants, but this is what I did. Very straightforward. Helps recovery speed, overall recovery, and damage reduction. Now, when it comes to spells, I didn't really use too many spells. I would use this one a few, swing a big fire sword here. I would use Echo of Lu, easy cheese against Commander Hong Lan. Just kept my distance and kept throwing this at them. I switched to a magic build, feathering build real quick, and, was doing that. I used the Lotus Soul Flame against the Fierce Tiger. Easy cheese against the Fierce Tiger. Go check out that boss fight, guys. It's like an instant stagger. Once you get it off, you dodge their moves, learn their moveset, get this off, instant stagger, get your licks in. And I did use another one. I used Ethereal a few times, but not too much. And then I used Echo of Bomagus, where you get the shield, because that came in handy, especially in the last boss fight. Throw that shield up, you're able to get away with getting hit at once or twice, and you're able to get some licks in. So the Echo of Bomagus, so those are the three that I really stuck to. And of course, you know, your items here, whatnot. I got my mana charges up to 12, our Temperance charges up 2. You know, it is what it is. Throwables definitely were good to have and easy to use. But the game is very generous with these blood like feathers to upgrade. Definitely a fun game. Definitely a game I would definitely suggest getting. Again, here just to show off our stats. You know, this is my build video. Again, a very straightforward build. Nothing too fancy. Again, I sound like a broken record. Go check out those boss fight guys. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just dodging, and I'm getting my licks in. I am not doing anything crazy. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not doing anything with flair or pizzazz. Just having fun playing the game. Just having fun playing the game. And I really like the fact that I can just keep it simple, look cool as shit, be a badass, and go and, you know, get it done. So, definitely appreciate it. Hope I have a good one. And, yeah. I'll catch you on the next one. This is my build video. You know, again, we look good. We look tough. We look hot. You can't stop us. Look at this. Badass chick. Longsword. Ready to mess you up. So, they did great with this game. Again, very easy to make a simple build that's strong and gets you through the game. And I can't say that enough, because I'm your everyday working gamer. I'm not, you know, this crazy A+ gamer. And again, broken record. Go check out those boss fight guys. You'll see what I'm saying. We get it done with this build. So, hope you have a great one, and I'll catch you on the next one.